not doing anything. And that's what I don't like. I know we've been there, but it just stops. We don't keep going. I wanna get this, I want them to be aware, if you get that letter, something's gonna happen.
Well, I don't know what letters have already been sent. I mean,
Right.
there is a process, and when the ordinance violation, provisions in the county code were set up, there are forms with that. And the area plan has those forms. I haven't been contacted about any of this.
So what we need to do is just do more follow-up, so if you can't get there, you gotta contact.
I know the attorney for area plan is working on this currently.
Has a formal complaint ever been filed though?
There's a what?
I mean, you have to file a formal complaint. You can't just decide, I mean, you can't decide you
The health
need to do
department's got
something.
notice, so that's your
Well,
initial
and so
complaint.
is area plan, but
Right.
the attorney at area plan is working on this. And that's the thing, is that they're working on it. Do I need to have you work on it too? I mean, if they're, is that a dual
Well,
thing?
I don't know what angle she's working on. I mean, I would
It just seems like no
normally
one knows where to go for the next step. If Angie goes there and she can't get nothing accomplished like she's saying she's doing now, you know, safety issue for her, you know, then we gotta have the next step. Do we get the sheriff involved, escort it out there, let her do the inspection and leave?
I do
We
not
have to have a,
know what the area plan commission is working on. I mean, I would normally be the one that filed the ordinance violation complaint, unless it's a violation of something under the unified zoning ordinance. If it's a unified zoning ordinance violation, then it would be the area plan commission attorney that does that. So I don't know enough about what the area plan commission attorney is doing, but, I mean, the code, as I recall, has, depends on the nature of the complaint. It's usually, if it's inhabitability of the residence, it's definitely health department, but if it's anything else, it's either the area plan commission or, somebody appointed by the commissioners to do it. We don't have a code enforcement officer.
Somebody appointed by the commissioners to do it.
Yeah, a code enforcement officer, and I don't think we've had a code enforcement officer.
I think when I was on council, they tried to get area plan to get like a code enforcement. And we just didn't.
But we've got, an ordinance on the book, depending on what the condition is, it's either basically area plan or health department. So, if I can get some more information from.
Wonderful, too.
But if it's needed to get onto the property, the law gives the enforcement authorities the right to go on the property and to ask for law enforcement to go with them if there's a danger, if there's a threat to them, so.
And you have had law enforcement go with you.
I have several times, to different addresses.
Probably in the same area.
Can we ask for you and Cameron, the area plan, to come to us at the 20th meeting? And we'll get this more pinned down on where we are and what's going on and how we move ahead,
We can do a meeting on Zoom, I still got Zoom myself.
okay?
And
You good with them,
yes,
or you can call him on the phone, right?
you can call me on the phone, but if you need to see something, you know, I mean, we can meet by Zoom or send some information. I don't know, you think the area plan commission attorney's doing something?
I do.
I'd want to call her and see what direction she's going, she may.
I just wanted to briefly, and we don't have to write this out, but maybe for discussion another day, but it kind of, again, circles back around to what Angie said, with the Hodges Drive Road, and I don't know, and maybe this is more of a question for Ted, whether or not the county can practice eminent domain, so to say, and take control of that roadway. I remember years ago when that road was initially implemented, there were many residents in that area that basically made that decision to maintain, that they would maintain that road privately. And obviously that's fallen by the wayside as times went along. So, again, maybe it's something for an agenda on down the road, to discuss, maybe the county incorporating that road into our highway system, so that my concern, and again, I know Doug can attest even with some of his personnel that they've had ambulances, obviously I've had deputies down through there through the years, and, you know, I can remember there's one hole down that road that's probably about half the size of Lake Freeman, it's big, so. So anyway, just something to think about, I wanted to at least
How's the
comment on.
residents that live there get in and out of there then?
I don't
Well,
know.
there's one or two that are decent people back there, aren't there, Ange?
Oh, yeah, there's a couple that are the complaining ones. You know, they're complaining about, you know, we have to live like this. So, they should have some kind of an association that requires the road is kept up if they're gonna have a private drive. I mean, that's what other, you know, complexes around do.
Maybe they didn't do that.
I think there's some of them down there that want the road fixed. That's why I came, I don't know how long ago it's been now, came and asked if you guys would do something, grade the road or something down there, and that was when Paul said, we're not touching it, it's a private drive.
What has to be done to make that a county road?
Well, Paul will tell you that there's certain standards that you have to have for it to be a county road. The county can, condemn use of power of eminent domain, but if we need to use that power to do it to the standards of county roads, I don't know if the legal setbacks sufficiently enough to create a county road or not. That'd be Paul, question for Paul. The other thing, and this came up in one of these other situations, where the other option, probably better than using eminent domain and trying to make it a county road is to do some kind of a bear assessment, and where the property owners get assessed for the cost. The government fronts the cost of making the improvement, defines what the project is. It possibly could be done so that it's still not a public street. I don't know what the restrictions are on that, again, question for Paul, but the bear assessment is used for, putting sewers in the area that's served by septic tanks, like in larger cities, you'd be surprised, you know, in Minneapolis, they got septic tanks, in areas where they're gradually getting rid of them, you know, and they do it by, they do a section at a time, do a bear assessment, assess the property, you know, go in and do it, and then the property owners pay it back over a period of time. So that might be something that would work here. I don't know the, you know, dimensions of the private road, you have to take a look at that, but, Paul's right in that if it's not a county road, you can't put county highway equipment on it and you're not permitted to use, gas tax money, to maintain so much private road. That's a big no-no. So the only way I see to do it would be if you know, if there was enough room to condemn and make it a county road, who would pay for that?
You would have. You say there is a way though
I
for that to
mean,
go
yeah,
on
there's a way
the
to,
taxes.
it's all about the money, who's gonna pay for it?
Well, again, when they go on the taxes, Is that how it's done, or?
Well, county roads aren't paid for by taxes, they're all paid for by gas tax.
Well, on a Barrett assessment like this?
Their assessment is, you charge the property owners, for it. Sidewalks in cities, sometimes those are done by their assessment. They, I mean, you know, lay it out, but there's no public right of way here involved here. You would have to get, my opinion, I wouldn't do it unless, if I were in your position, I wouldn't offer to do this unless every one of those people signed over an easement to.
They're not gonna do that.
You're not gonna do that, so, you know, you're going to court to do, you know, getting court appointed appraisers and all that. But you still gotta pay for the cost of it in some way. And, the only way that I know of, short of, you know, economic development money, you know, declare it an economic revitalization area and, but Barrett assessment, you know, there are ways to do it, but it's,
Well, we need some way to do it. There needs to be access back through there. That's the number one problem is the road. You can't get back to it, you can't, they use it as a barrier to keep law enforcement, to keep anybody out.
And typically what we do on complaints is if you get a complaint about a property, then if they don't clean up their property or mow their yard or whatever, we'll hire somebody to do it. The problem is, people go out there and look at it, they don't wanna do it, they don't wanna deal with those people.
No.
They're not gonna put themselves in an unsafe position to, cause they're not gonna stand by and say, oh, no problem, go ahead and clean this up and I'll pay it, so. So you can't get people to do it.
There's a huge problem when people just absolutely refuse to cooperate with anything. And if it's not a felony or anything like that, you can come in with guns and make them do it. We need you to look at this thoroughly for us and figure out what are our options, and I still would like to have you and Cameron both come back to the next meeting and do it. Now, I heard I don't wanna belabor this much more, but, I heard Cameron say something about a property that has all kinds of junk cars sitting on it. I mean, the guy's actually running a junkyard, okay, in a residential area.
that's probably what, Cindy is working on,
What?
I'm guessing. That the attorney,
Yes. She
Is
is
he?
working
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
yeah, if they're operating a junkyard, then that's area plan, and they could do
But,
that.
yeah, but, okay, it's not a junkyard where that they have a business license and they have, you know, pay sales tax and all that stuff. It's just a junkyard, you know, where he pulls stuff off and he'll maybe sell them to somebody or something, but, Cameron said something about he could assess them, $100 a day per vehicle. And then that goes on,
That goes to their board. That goes to their board, the area plan board, I believe.
Yeah.
that money goes to the area plan board, or what?
Well, that's, depends on what they wanna charge them.
Oh, what they wanna charge.
I would think that's also a penalty under the, zoning ordinance, and those monies don't go, I don't know if they've got a fee schedule or not, but maybe they've got a fee schedule for that. If it's a fee, it goes to the board, if it's a penalty, it goes to the court.
Well, if you have a little one eighth of an acre lot, and you got 20 junk vehicles sitting on it, that could add up to a lot of money real quick.
Right.
Of course, there is no value to the house or the lot, especially if there's a junk vehicle sitting on it, all the oil running out all over the ground.
He thought that was cheaper than mowing the yard, because I kept
the unsafe, property law, unsafe building law, Carroll County has that. They adopted that by reference, and that's, sometimes administered, if you don't have a code enforcement officer. Again, I have seen that used in Floyd County to clean up a big junkyard on, I don't know, 750 North, I don't know what it was. It was a big, auto salvage thing. It wasn't a business, so to speak, but, the commissioners designated the area plan and director to be the enforcement officer on that, and then they took that to court. It was eventually worked out, and all those vehicles got moved off. So, that's the vehicles. The vehicles are probably not as much a problem as you've got, if you've got a private road, you know.
Yeah, that's different.
You're, I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars, to, go through eminent domain and establish a street, but you just don't establish it for, how wide is it? I don't know how wide it is. You got at least 30 feet or,
Well, most of our roads are 33 feet, 2 lots.
well, I mean, in this little subdivision.
How many houses are back in there?
5, 6.
Oh, there's more than that. There's more than that, there's probably 15.
How many total?
Yeah, 10, 15, yes.
That many? I've never driven all the way back in, I pull up to the end.
Cause that hook, it goes on around, goes through and hooks into Sleepy Hollow Road
It does.
eventually, yes.
So it's a through road, you just 2 entrances. I didn't know that, I thought everything came in and
It's
out.
almost at the dead end, it's what they call it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that portion, last I knew, was paved or somewhat improved,
Yeah,
so
the
that.
back way going in is not too bad,
Yeah.
but the other way you can't
Right.
get through.
Okay, well, we have to continue this on. And, is there anything else to come before the board?
I was just
Yes.
Nope.
All right.
Real fast, I just wanted to update you, I talked to Commissioner Hilton over the weekend. We had a call this weekend, and when my deputy went to get the van, the battery exploded. So we had no transport vehicle. My truck is, they have not started the process of production yet. So bid is one of the first ones in, whenever they can do it. In the meantime, luckily my deputy that owns the funeral home was there and had his transport vehicle, so we did use it because we had no other choice. Doug did offer to transport to our morgue, which doesn't really do us any good. So, and we gotta go out of county, so I can't take an ambulance out of county. We may look at a transport company that's gonna be cost if this, depending on how long it's gonna be till the.
How much damage did it do to the van?
Well, we replaced the battery yesterday, so it started. I've not taken it out to drive it. I'm almost scared to. But,
What happens with it?
it took, I mean, the paint's ate away from the acid. It just blew up. No, the battery just blew up.
Was they jumping it to get it to start?
No, we don't. We keep a
You got a
charger
tender
on it.
on it? Probably what happened is it probably got, the tender was bad and overcharged it and then
It's
you,
a bitch off,
yep,
that was dried in,
yep.
it's dried in. I don't have a blow on it.
It's not
They
fun.
said,
Kinda
so
common, but it does happen.
yeah.
So
And
you had like a short somewhere and the gas is from it.
so, I mean, I don't know, in between now and then, I don't know what's, I
Brand
don't
new
know
one.
how much a transport company costs, cause they're all out of county, so that's gonna, I don't know if they cost more, most of them I think are out Tippy. I know that there's been a $200 charge, $250 that I've heard just when I first started. I've never had to use
Is that an
it.
ambulance company?
No, they
Can
they
your backup
transport for like,
ambulance assist that we'd have,
funeral homes,
I mean, they would have to,
things
yeah, I
like
mean, they would
that.
have, they could
that
use
those
it if
companies-
they'd
needed.
have to man it.
They could, yeah, they'd have to man it, I wouldn't have manpower to do that.
Right. And it'd be okay if they use that.
I didn't
Take
know
it
what to
down
do
the
in that
Morton
moment,
Lafayette.
luckily my deputy had his vehicle, so, I mean, I just used it at that
Yeah,
point, but I don't
employees
wanna
are
run
insured.
Well,
into
the only
a
thing, I
conflict.
don't know, I'd have to look into the legal thing about driving an ambulance down there without EMS personnel on it, that might be an issue. Cause if you come up on a wreck and you had an ambulance and you didn't have EMTs on board, that might be a problem. So I'm not sure that would go.
I'm
I'd have to
hoping
check
they
into
start
that.
production, I stay close with Tony Garrison at Mans, but he said they're not putting any kind of date out. So I have no clue. We are one of the first bids that got it, so as soon as they start production, we should be one of the first vehicles made.
So why couldn't we go on a U-Haul truck? It's just like a cargo van, no seats.
And I mean, I have my deputy, I don't know if he can I don't know if that's conflict. I mean, if he's available, luckily he was available Saturday, but I don't know how that works with the
He
county.
would have to charge us mileage. For that to be probably legit. I think our mileage is 42.
We did Saturday because we were stuck in the mud and had to do something. I mean, and he luckily was who I called to help me, and he had it, so we didn't know that was gonna happen, but we were stuck at the moment with no choice. But I don't, if we need to do it for a while, I don't know what that
Rental company,
involves.
Ask them permission to do that. Be on
but
record,
like Doug said, we can
right?
probably use theirs, as long as they don't come up on a wreck.
I would just have to check with the, I'd have to check the legality for that. make sure.
Cassie?
So, I'm not gonna be gross, but let's be honest, some dead bodies we recover are not the most pleasant recoveries we find. Is a U-Haul company gonna let us honestly rent a U-Haul van to recover some of the bodies?
You're gonna get into a
recovered?
hazard issue, I would think, cause just like if we have to get a semi, if we have a mass casualty, we're gonna buy that semi, cause you're gonna have hazardous conditions that, I mean,
Well, I just
yeah,
say,
just like Cassie said.
Yeah.
let Doug find out about his
Biohazard.
insurance.
I think part of the best thing was work out an agreement if you could use Steve's.
I mean, if we can
vehicle and
use,
pay
that's,
him
I just
mileage.
wanted to ask, cause I didn't know legal wise if there's any, but I mean, I don't wanna use him and not compensating
Right, that needs to be compensated.
with his vehicle.
Ask him what he would charge us for each time he had to be used, and you can bring it back to us. And hopefully we'll have nothing before then. If you do, call Doug. I guess we'll have to pay one of his employees to drive it, extra to do it, I guess.
Can
So then we're-
I
You
drive?
can.
Okay,
You're an
or
employee,
if
you're on our
both of us could,
Yeah,
right?
you
So,
both are.
so two of the four of us could drive it if we're
Then
available.
you have used his experience, right?
I'm on, his inactive off the roster still, so.
So maybe we can squeak by.
I'll check and make sure that's.
I just wanted to update you that
Right.
we're kinda caught in a limbo and
Right.
And the person that was interested in buying it, I explained everything that's wrong right now. I don't know if he is still interested, this was before or Saturday. I don't know that he's still interested, so I don't know if you just want me to trade it so we can get a little bit off of the new vehicle, or,
I say we just trade it.
I say we trade it too. Canvas of those conditions.
You'll need to make a motion on that since you already.
Motion to
decided
trade in the corners van.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
thank you.
Joe?
I just wanted to go back and just food for thought, maybe this is something that actually, maybe needs to be passed along to camera, but, that the vehicles you were talking about to run the junkyard and everything, maybe also contact Indiana Department of Revenue if he's generating funds or is making money off of that. They do have investigators who can follow into, folks that
See if he's,
Selling parts.
Yeah.
selling parts and not
Yeah.
a licensed business.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, so, just something.
good. Yes,
I know in March you guys were supposed to go to Florida to sign the agreement for us to put the backup over there. Did that get done?
That was in your hands, Ted. The
Yeah,
agreement.
we finished it, I have not, I sent it on to, Florida's attorney, and I don't, they didn't have any more meetings, so I'll have to call them and see where that is.
They got it back. We did our part, but they haven't done their part as well.
I'll follow up on it.
okay. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Nice having live people.
Yes.